Hello again. So it's been a little while since I did the last of the guides, and I did mention in that one that I would do on the next one I would do would be on Leave No Trace. And life's kind of got in the way a little bit, life and work and whatnot, and so I haven't really had much chance to do anything. So I decided to do this one on the Leave No Trace, as I mentioned before. And as with all the other guides, there's any amount of people in the group who some are more knowledgeable than I am, some less, some about the same. And there's plenty of helpful people there who can give you information on stuff. And a lot of the things I talk about on or will talk about on these guides are there is information available on the Fjallraven event page as well. And the same can be said for the Leave No Trace principles. Fundamentally, a big part of what Fjallraven is about, like the whole ethos, is valuing and protecting nature, and to encourage and help everyone to do that, we need to follow Leave No Trace principles, because there's nothing worse really when you go out into nature, you're doing a big hike or something, you're just seeing trash lying around all over the place. It's not pleasant. It's not good for animals and the environment, and it just creates a bad feeling, and the environmental impact can be quite far-reaching. We all hear about microplastics and pollution and things like that, and the last thing we want to do is contribute to that. Yes, everyone, we all want to get out in nature and enjoy it, but at the same time, we don't want to be destroying what we want to enjoy. So the Leave No Trace principles have been around for a long, long time, and fundamentally, it's a set of principles that, whilst they're broadly the same around the world, there are sort of slight variations country to country. If you go and just type in Leave No Trace into Google, and it brings up different ones in different countries, and you'll see the slight variations, but broadly speaking, they are pretty much the same worldwide. On the Fjallraven event page, there's some information about it, as I've mentioned, but the main points are these. At the start, when you check in at Hoggelid's Column, I'm probably saying that wrong, one of the things that you're given is like a drawstring fastening trash bag. Now, make use of it, put your rubbish into there, and you carry that to the finish, you weigh, and basically when you get to the finish, your bag gets weighed, and if you have more than, I think it's 600 grams of waste, then you get a ticket entered into the prize draw. And they do a draw each day for the people that finished that day who get one of the tickets. And so the prizes are pretty good, it has to be said. I mean, last year I think there was a Kiker backpack, there was down sleeping bags, pretty much all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, you kind of shouldn't need that incentive, but it is a nice touch, really. So other things mentioned on there: only use environmentally certified soaps for washing. That includes yourself, your dishes, anything else. All type of washing should be done away from waterways. So get some water, move away, and it should realistically be a minimum of 60 metres away from a moving waterway. For those of you who work in freedom units, that's about 200 feet. There's a good rule of thumb: if you think you're far enough away, go a little bit further, because some people are not the best at judging distance. Human waste and food waste should be buried or hidden under large stones. In Abisko National Park, you're not allowed to dig holes, so you've got to bury things under stones. Bury or carry out used toilet paper. Don't dispose of waste food or any packaging in the toilet tents or the toilets at the STF shelters. They are not bins. Don't use them for that, please. Other considerations: when you make camp, select an area which doesn't need clearing. Now, what that means is really you shouldn't be pulling out or damaging any plants in order to create an area for you to pitch your tent. Any rocks that you move, you should be replacing them where you took them from before you leave. Don't have open fires. Don't dig fire pits. Shouldn't really be having fires up there anyway. The area in which you camp must be left in the exact same condition that you found it. Okay. Pitching on gravel or firm dry ground is the best, and nothing that was there should be removed unless it was trash that somebody else has left. You know, when I go out on a hike or a wild camp or something like that in the UK here, if I find trash, I always carry a spare bag, and if I find trash while I'm out there, I'll pick it up and bring it out with us, just to try and leave things, if I can, a little bit better than I found them. So there's a phrase that's used quite a lot in the UK, possibly elsewhere, I don't know, which is leave only footprints and take only memories, and that's a good sort of rule of thumb to work to. Ultimately, we're all responsible, and the other thing to bear in mind is, if Fjallraven are very clear about this, because we're all responsible for this, anybody that doesn't follow the leave no trace rules, anyone who's seen to be throwing trash or disrespecting the environment, basically it can result in disqualification from the event, and possibly even prosecution with the police, and that sort of gives you an indication of just how seriously they take this, and rightly so. So like I say, that's your basis of leave no trace principles. I mean, you can go on a deep dive into it, and I would suggest reading the event page and actually having a look on Google about leave no trace, but it's a very simple principle to follow, is that whatever you carry in, you carry out. It's just that simple. And the only thing that should be any indicator of where you camped is maybe the grass is a bit flatter after you've left, but then that's only going to last a day or two when the grass is back the way it should be. But nobody else should really be able to see that you've been there. That's in a nutshell, I suppose. So yeah, that's leave no trace. I think I'll do the next one probably on about backpacks. There's any amount of types of backpacks, sizes and brands and all that stuff, so I'll probably do one on that next. But that was leave no trace. As ever, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the group. There's plenty of people there who are more than happy to help and answer them, as you've probably seen by now, because there's any amount of posts get put on asking questions, and there's always a bunch of answers. The same can be said over on the Fjallraven Classic official page, which is run by Emil and Jerome, and they have more close contact with Fjallraven directly as well. So if there's anything that's event specific, maybe they might be better placed to answer those questions. Certainly they're better placed to answer those questions than I am. So yeah, that was that one, and thanks for watching, and I'll